Okay, I wanted to give an overview of how to remove the MCU, the motor control unit, on the iMev because most of the videos aren't complete. So, you remove all of the, well, first of all, I remove these bolts. This will be a star nut. And then in order to pry it out, you have to get something under here and just pop it here and here, and it will come off. The sealant will release. Okay, once you've got that off, you have the two battery, positive on this side, negative on the outside, and you want to test those to make sure there's no high voltage. You should have already undone the main fuse under the passenger's seat. These three are for the motor. You have red, white, and black. So I've already disconnected my battery negative and battery positive, and I've marked them on there and taped them up just to be doubly safe. And then I've disconnected, pulled out the three motor wires and set them to the side. Okay. Now, after you've got that done, you can pop off this cover by putting your screwdriver under this bracket mount point here and prying, and that will undo it. That will loosen up this corner here. And then once that was loose here, I pretty much just grabbed this and this and pulled up, and it released the cover. It wasn't super strong. Okay, and then the cover comes off. Now, this black cover does not come off from the top. I loosened up all four bolts, but they do not come off. So in order to get at the IGBTs 1, 2, and 3, you have to take this out. So what I did was this main power lead that connects the MCU to the DC charger has a cover on it. So this is the first cover that you have to take off. There's a bolt, goes here. Took off this bolt, took off this cover. On this, you slide this back, and then you pinch here and here and pull, and that will release. There's another connector here that you have to push in to release. Over here, there's a connector, two connectors. It goes in here. So this black one goes to this, and again you have to push this down very hard to release it. Or you can put a screwdriver under this tab, pry it up, and then pull it out if you need to. If it's really hard, you can use some needle nose pliers to get a grip on this and pull it out. And that's the case for all of these automotive connectors. Sometimes they're hard to get out, but the idea is that this little tab here has to be pushed down in order to release it from the opposite side. Now, you don't necessarily have to take this bracket off, I found out after, because this hose stays with this unit here. But this one is connected to the car here. So you have to take this out. This plastic goes into here, and you have to release it with some needle nose and pull it out. So once you pull that out, then you're good. But it's probably easier to take the bracket off so you can get access to that. So this is free floating. This is now separated. These two are also disconnected. And then the last thing is, well, there's two more things. You've got 3 bolts, one to the chassis, 2 to the chassis, and then a third one down here to the chassis. And these are long bolts that you have to take out. 1, 2, 3. And then the last thing is you have coolant. So there's a coolant hose here that is originally connected here to cool this. Runs in here, runs through the bottom of this to keep this cool. Connects to a hose here. See if we can get that. So it connects here, goes to a U hose that goes to the charge controller. Comes out of the charge controller over here and runs down into the pump. This is the reservoir refill for it. So all I did was loosen this to get some air in it. I loosened up that hose and there and pointed it downward into a bucket. And you'll see that over here, this hose has coolant in it. And you can direct that hose down into the bucket. When you take off the other hose though, it's probably going to leave a mess on your concrete if you're not careful like me. All right, and then there is one last connector running from the motor over to the bottom side of the motor control unit, which has one more bracket that I have to release, and then I can pull this out. Okay, and right now it's mostly free except for that last bracket, and then this should lift right out. Let's see. Yeah, that will lift out, no problem. Oh, yeah. So there is one more down here. So if you look down in here, you've got one more connector that runs down to the motor, and there's another automotive connector that you have to release. Let me pull this up so you can see what it looks like. This is what it looks like. This one was a bear to get undone. I had to put a screwdriver in under here from under the car, and then use a pair of needle nose to squeeze this side and pull it from the other side. It's kind of a pain in the ass, to be honest. All right, and then let's see. Oh, and this wiring harness here is connected to a retaining strap here on the housing via this tape. So this tape just slides on and it holds it. So I just ripped it off because I couldn't get up underneath to release this easily. There's a screw there, or a nut, a bolt underneath there that you can undo. But my goal here is to get this cover off next, so I can look and see which is the bad IGBT. I think it's number 1, and I think this side is number 1. I don't know for sure. Maybe this is number 1. But in the cam scanner app, it shows the temperature of 2 of the IGBTs as normal ambient temperature, and one of them as like 2.3 degrees. So I'm wondering if the sensor's bad on one of the IGBTs, or if it's blown. But we will find out. All right. So I hope that helps whoever's trying to work on their failed, what do you call this thing? I'm tired. All right, it's I don't know. Anyway, I should probably stop for the day. All right, guys, thanks. Bye.